Hello, and welcome to episode 217 of the Casual Try Hard podcast. I'm Brian,
And I'm James.
and spring forward hits different, folks, when you're over 40. Let me tell
Ooh.
you.
Yeah. There's not much spring left in it. I am struggling today.
Yeah, it's been rough. Not as hard as a toddler,
Yeah.
but 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 so today's kind of a grab bag of random Wizards announcements that we haven't talked about. Some
Yeah, somehow
spoiler
I
stuff.
completely missed that we had a March of the Machines like announcement stream or whatever. Must have happened when I was at school or something.
Yeah, I mean
Oops.
we had a whole show last week. It was fine.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to us about anything, you can get at us on social media. All those links are in the description below.
Yeah, hit us up if you got any show ideas for us. We always love to hear from you guys, so make sure you reach out. If you're looking to support the show, there's a couple different ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. If you follow that link and anything you purchase after that, whether it's all as one singles or sealed product or a couple cards for your commander deck or whatever you need, you'll help support the show because we'll get a little tiny percentage of that. If you want to support us a little bit more directly, you can do so at patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. If you sign up as a patron, chip in as much as you see fit. There's a couple different tiers in there, but all the tiers are really the same. So just however much enjoyment you get out of us and you want to give back, just chip in something. You'll get access to our show notes, so you have a sneak peek about what the show's going to be. You also get access to our pre-show, which is kind of just us rambling about whatever's going on locally in our lives, whatever. Sometimes magic related, sometimes not. And patrons also get put on my mailing list for when I have cool swag to send out, which probably be in a week or two. I'll have another mailing go out. So if any of that sounds good, or if you just really appreciate the work that we do, head on over to patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg and sign up. We would appreciate it.
Yeah.
We also have a YouTube channel. Surprise!
No.
You can watch us do this show on YouTube. Comes out alongside the regular show every Thursday. Also, Brian has some limited content he's been putting out Monday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm getting back. I know I missed a week or two in there with school and stuff. Didn't have time to record. Had some computer issues. But I'm back with Tomfoolery Tuesdays. So I got a video that will be coming out tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, a couple days ago for you guys, where I play, whatever funsies deck I feel like. So make sure you check that out. What do you?
I was looking at the thumbnail for 50 cracked packs.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I was trying to figure if that was our heads on there or not, but
Oh, you hadn't seen that one before, huh?
no. No.
If you want to be entertained by our thumbnails,
Yes.
some of them are pretty good.
Some of
Head
them
on
are
over to
pretty
YouTube
good.
and check them out.
Yeah, there you go. There's the hard sell.
That one in particular is pretty good.
Yeah,
If you want to see
yes.
Brian on Rob Schneider's body dressed up like a lady.
There you go. You give away control. Your podcast partner does one where I'm getting shot, maybe, or about to get shot in Wolfenstein. Now I'm Rob Schneider wearing what looks like a blonde string mop on my head.
Yeah, it's a mop.
It's a mop. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't always make you the weird one.
I
I'm the weird
appreciate
one
that.
occasionally.
I appreciate that. You hugging
I've
me.
only got so many like headshots to work with, so
Yeah,
it's whatever the headshots line up as.
you hugging me as we read a book.
Well, yeah, I figured I'd be the creepy one.
Yes, yeah, I like the sunglasses. It's a good look. So, all right.
Yeah. Send me some headshots and I'll do a better job.
Maybe we need to do this like photo shoots where I do the just the YouTube faces, and you can just take screenshots.
Yeah. I actually had to go back into some of the old videos we did with Juan to get some headshots for you.
Oh man, I guess I could like take some phone pictures and like with the green screen.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter. I can cut the background out pretty easily, but
All right. This is what they're paying for, right? This is green screen headshot talk.
yeah,
Welcome to our new podcast, Thumbnails for Dummies.
the content people crave.
It's right, thumbnail talk.
Rondo.
Rondo. It's what people crave.
That's right.
I think it's killing them. All right, so we haven't talked about one of these in a while, but we have secret layers.
Yeah. Some new ones were announced. I don't know if any of them are super duper relevant, but I figured we'd run through some of the highlights real quick.
Yeah, like
there's only a few days left in this drop. Again, we kind of missed the boat here.
I don't know, there's nothing that really moved the needle much for me.
Yeah.
Like the Phyrexian ones are nice, but like I don't know, blue-green infect is not really a deck anymore.
Well, even if it was, you're going to spend $120 for 4 Bladed Agents, 4 Glistener Elves, and 4 Ink Moths.
I mean, I did have a foiled out legacy deck at one point, so making bad decisions is not like out of my range.
Yeah. Has happened before, will happen again.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
Are there 4 Atraxas in the mail? There are.
There you go.
So, so there's the Phyrexian one. So all the Phyrexian creatures, and Batterskull, because he's an honorary creature, are all in Phyrexian text.
It's kind of cool.
Which is kind of cool. Are you new to Magic and you don't know what cards do just from the art? I present you with a made-up language.
Made-up language full of made-up characters.
Yeah.
With made-up syntax.
Hey, they did put out a made-up Rosetta Stone for Phyrexia.
Oh, there's like a whole ongoing like forum about deciphering the Phyrexian language.
But Wizards put out the definitive guide.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, for this set. Like, how to even say the characters. Like a pronunciation guide and everything. So, that one's kind of cool. I think much like a Trekkie, like, that knows how to speak Klingon, I feel as though you have to speak Phyrexian if you use these cards.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to be speaking Phyrexian.
I mean, it's a non-zero number. People speak Klingon.
Yes, they do.
So, and then we have Draw Your Hand, which...
Yeah, we were talking about these ones a little bit in the pre-show. They're kind of weird. They're a funky style, and they're hard to read.
Yeah, like... the art's not bad. I'm not trying to dunk on the art in any way. But, like, it is hard to, like, decipher the rules text on the card.
Yeah.
Right, and, like Deafening Silence is, like, legible-ish. But, like, Counterbalance, like, Lord only knows.
Yeah.
Right, like, I know that Counterbalance is blue-blue. And looking at this card, I keep thinking it should be blue-red.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Right? Like...
Yeah, it definitely looks blue-red.
Yeah. Like, they have the blue mana symbol inside a red flame-shaped thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
The opposite of every other time it's been portrayed.
Yes.
It's also like holding a Pokeball?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Gotta catch them all, I guess.
Exactly. Elishnorn, I choose you. Yeah. Fine. Like, there's no real value in here.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how much Counterbalance is, but it's never been reprinted, right? Or has it had a reprint?
I feel like it's been reprinted.
It's also been banned, so
This is true.
Well, I guess not actually banned, but banned as a consequence of top being banned.
Yes, shadow banned.
Yeah.
Uh, Survey says on Card Kingdom right now, it is $30 for an
Okay.
excellent one. So I guess there is value if you want an eligible counterbalance.
Yep.
Um,
In Eldrazi conscription used to be expensive. Again, I
Research.
don't know that it still is, but yeah, Deafening Silence and Bruna Light of Alabaster.
Eldrazi
Not
Conscription is
super heavy.
$18, so I take it back. There is
Okay.
value here, but then you have to not be able to decipher your cards.
Yeah.
So then we have snakes. I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
They totally should have had him on these cards.
Yeah, it would have been great. Just 5 different arts of him saying, I'm a snake.
Yep.
So
Wearing a snake on his head.
there's Hex Drinker, Lotus Cobra holding hedge clippers,
Mm-hmm.
Shihiro the Anointed, Ice Fang Coatl, and then
Sure.
Stone Coil Serpent, rest in peace, naked guy with his wiener out.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea that was to publish that art like that, but
I'm assuming like they just didn't see it,
yeah. I mean, I don't care. I would
And
have
then-
been
and
fine
then-
with
and then
but
it
I'm
went
not
to-
everybody, so
and then it went to Reddit, and then
Yeah.
like someone was like pulling the Super Troopers thing, enhance, and just like oh, I see.
yeah.
Um,
Again, though, like not a ton of value in here, right? Like Hex Drinker at one point was expensive, but I don't think it is anymore. And Lotus Cobra just caught a reprint at Rare. I can't imagine that's $1 million anymore.
yeah, I doubt it is. Hex Drinker is again. I'm on $5.
Yeah.
Lotus Cobra. The old version is $5. The new version is $4. Ice Fang Coatl is pretty cheap. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure.
Which only leaves Seshiro, so unless that's like a $30 card, I don't think there's any value here.
$2 American dollars.
Yeah. No value. I mean, the art's cool. But
Yeah, no, the art is cool. But yeah,
Hex
it's
Drinker's kind of slick.
yeah, Hex Drinker is good.
Yeah.
But and then Ice Fangs are $3 for the retro frame. For the foil etched retro frame ones, they're like $2.
Yeah. So no value there.
No value. And Stone Coil Serpent is cheap.
Yep. And then we have the 90s binder experience, which is like, was it Trapper Keepers or what was the...
They were called Trapper Keepers.
Wasn't there like another name though? It's like something art.
I don't know.
I feel like there was another name. Yeah, they're all like, bright, colorful kids, whatever.
Yeah,
That
like
style.
kid style art. Like one definitely
Yeah.
looks like they said, "Hey, can you do Care Bears,
Yeah.
but not get us copyrighted?" And they were
Right.
like, "I think I can do that."
We also want My Little Pony, but not copyrighted, even though we own
My Little Pony.
trademark to My Little Pony, yeah. But they're in that kind of style. We
Yeah,
have
big
Alms
cartoony.
Collector. Yeah. Alms Collector, Crested Sunmare, Goreclaw, Rin and Siri. This is kind of weird because Rin and Siri was a Buy a Box promo, right?
It was.
That's like the only time it's been printed.
I do believe.
So that's kind of strange. And then Exotic Orchard. And I think Crested Sunmare might be expensive.
Okay, well, Renin Series $22.
Holy moly, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like I might
should
have
sell
one
those.
or two.
I have multiples.
Yeah, they're $22 on Card Kingdom.
Yeah, I should sell those.
Yeah, I should look for mine and make them go away.
I think Crested Sunmare is expensive too, though.
It might be.
And Exotic Orchard is kind of a EDH staple.
Yeah, Crested Sun Mares are like $6 to $10.
Okay. I don't know. Art's not my style. There's
Yeah,
nothing in there that particularly interests me, so
other than selling your current possessions of Renin series.
yes. Absolutely.
Um, and then I'm gonna say City. What is this? City Styles
Hmm.
is probably the best one
Yeah, I could see that.
in terms of art.
Oh, in terms of art, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and is Shakashima the Imposter expensive, or is it Thousand
Um,
Faces? It's expensive. The Imposter is $5, so Thousand Faces is the expensive one.
okay.
Uh, and then the Massacre Girl art is A+.
It is. I don't think Massacre Girl's super expensive either, though.
No.
And then we have Azusa, which the art's pretty good, but Azusa has caught a whole bunch of reprints, and I don't think it's worth anything anymore.
Yes, I agree. But it is.
Uh,
Uh, it's still $10.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, like the cheapest version is $12 from the core set.
All right.
Again, I'm using Card Kingdom because that's what came up, but
Yeah.
yeah, so not bad.
Yeah, and the art's good.
Uh,
Teysa Karlov is worth a couple bucks,
uh,
and the art's pretty good.
and the art's pretty good. She does look like she could put the pimp hand down.
Oh yeah. So that's how you duplicate death triggers.
That is
Yep.
by causing them.
What's with the open hand?
Yeah. And then like all the same artists did all of these arts.
Mhm.
All right. So you're like, okay, there's clearly a style here. I'm getting it. And then there's Paradise Mantle. And
Yeah.
like it's just so different from the rest of it.
Mhm.
It's a little jarring, but Paradise Mantle is $8. Who knew?
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, I have some. I should maybe not have $8 Paradise Mantles, for the love of God.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. It's not like I
Yeah,
don't
the
have
art's really cool though.
Yeah,
And I
no.
don't.
The if I were someone who played the card Massacre Girl, I would want this art of Massacre Girl.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes.
Dead people at slot machines or
Yeah,
arcades
at an
or
arcade,
whatever
like-
they are. Yeah.
And then we have art series Sam Burley.
Burley. Yep.
Burley got hooked on phonics, didn't get to West Virginia. So we have Braid of Fire.
Which was expensive.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, at one point that was like a $30 card.
Okay.
I don't know if it still is. I think it got a reprint
It-
in the last master set, maybe.
It's a mystery booster foil,
Okay.
but it is still $16
Yeah.
from the original Cold Snap.
Yeah. The cost, I don't think, was ever super expensive because he was
No.
in a dual deck.
No, but I do
And-
appreciate him doing the Hadouken.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good art.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all really good art. The Braid of Fire's pretty. Master of the Wild Hunt's cool.
And then, oh boy, Tyrant of Jund, the man, oh man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like nothing super exciting. Like we're getting to that point where you're just kind of like, oh man, like the arts aren't super exciting anymore because there's just so many of them now.
Well, I mean, how many times have I just said, "Oh, this card just caught a whole bunch of reprints"?
Yes. Yes, it's just another avenue to reprint, which is fine,
Yeah.
but like it makes it hard to be like I'm gonna buy this secret layer for value.
Right. The speaking of value, I think the most value out of all of these was the Festival in a Box for Minneapolis that's currently sold out, so don't bother going to check or anything. But it was $250, I think.
270.
270. But you got a draft box Owl Be One, a draft box of Brothers War, a booster box of Convention Edition Mystery Boosters, which is pretty sweet. And then I guess it's a Minneapolis only secret lair that like the styles of all these are really cool. I don't know that any of them are super expensive, but it's Phage the Untouchable, Sen Triplets, Yisin the Wanderer Bard, and Alayla Artful Provocateur.
Yeah, like they're all cool.
Yeah.
I can get behind them.
Yep.
And Arcane Signet Thanos edition.
Yes, Thanos edition. Definitely looks like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. And like Sen and Alayla, like Sen is definitely a popular commander. It used to be really expensive.
Yeah. So is Alayla and Yisin actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Yisin still expensive? Like Yisin just seems like he's got passed by.
I don't know if he's expensive or not, but if I remember right, Yisin's a pretty competitive like CEDH deck.
Yeah, he's like $2.
Yeah. And Phage is literally unplayable in Commander.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah,
didn't
because if
cast
you don't
it from
cast it from
hand.
your hand, you lose the game.
Oh man. Yeah. Literally unplayable in Commander, still $8.
Yeah, somehow.
Somehow. Gotta like give it to your opponent somehow. Gotta cast it onto your opponent's battlefield.
Sure.
You may cast a spell and put it on your opponent's side.
Change control of target spell on the stack.
Ooh. There we go. They're gonna hold priority, and then when they die, I guess Phage would go back to your command zone.
Yeah.
Because I guess what happens to their stuff? Oh, that'd be super confusing in the rules.
I think it disappears.
So you just lose your commander.
Well, I mean, it would go back to your command zone.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
They just go to exile.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, not super. You are right. Like if I would have like the Festival in the Box is good value.
Yeah. No longer available, so
No longer
like
available.
I said, don't bother looking, but
Next time
I
they
think
do a
that's-
Magic Con, they might do it again. So
yeah. I think that was the best value in this bunch, though.
So now we have the March of the Machine stuff. Would you like to read what you wrote?
Sure. I said somehow we completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed this announcement.
Yeah. I think I was at school, so sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
So the big thing is they have like team up cards.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they're doing them. Like some of them are in the actual set, and then some of them are like Commander exclusives, but not in the Commander decks.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know they weren't in the Commander decks.
They're in pre-release packs,
What?
but you can't use them during pre-release.
Hey,
Yeah.
person at this new player acquisition event, did you enjoy opening this card that you're not allowed to play?
Yeah. How about for a format that you may or may not want to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bonus card in the pre-release packs.
Okay.
Or like a bonus sheet or a bonus promo or something. And I don't know, I'm assuming we're gonna get more information as it gets closer to release time or
Hmm.
whatever. But yeah, the if you look at, let me see, was Thalia one of them?
No, it's I think
No,
Goro
Thalia's in
Goro,
the regular set.
Goro Goro, and Shitoru, Slimefoot and
Yeah,
Squee,
yeah,
and
that's what it
Catilda
was.
and Lear. And Slimefoot and Squee is just a loss
I
because like
know.
that card is like neat and good.
Also, and is Slimefoot and Squee.
Yes, like two of your favorite characters.
I know.
Yes, I don't
And
know.
three of my favorite colors.
Yes, could have gone right into the Junderdome, but
It's
instead
a fungus goblin.
a fungus goblin. This is true.
Yeah.
So they've done like what happened if people on the same plane that were perhaps enemies in the past team up together
Well,
to fight the
Slimefoot and Squee weren't enemies, though. Like, they were both members of the Weatherlight, weren't they?
fair, but like or like Drana and Linvala and Yargle and
Yeah,
Montani and Thalia and the Gitrog
yeah, I guess so.
and Galta and Marvin.
Yeah, I guess so.
Uh,
That kind of makes sense.
so maybe the three colored ones were allies because they shared a color,
Oh, maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
and then the like. Well, I guess Thalia kind of goes against that, but then you have like the color one for
Yeah.
a lot of them. I don't know. I'm sure they'll have some like grand thing that unifies them. Uh, so yeah, they seem like they're powerful cards. These like mashups.
Yeah, the only one that's, like, weird is Yargle.
The meme.
I mean, it's just big.
It's just the meme. It's just two Yargles in a trench coat.
Is it two Yargles? I
Yeah,
guess it
Yargle
is
was a
two Yargles.
9/3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
but,
the
like,
people.
Multani, like, has always done stuff, though. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
weird
what
that...
was weird. Yeah, so Yargle and Maltani, 3 black, black, green for an 18/6.
Yep.
Legendary creature, frog spirit elemental, and a literal paragraph of flavor text.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple sentences.
Yep. That's it.
Yes. That's it. Just an 18/6.
Yep.
Get in there, buddy. Now,
Yeah.
on the other side, you have Thalia and the Gitrog monster. First strike death touch for a 4/4 that is 1 white, black, green.
So Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino. It is Siege Rhino.
Yep.
You may play an additional land each turn on each of your turns. Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
Yep.
Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. That's 3/2 Thalia's ability.
Yep.
That's good. So we have a Gitrog ability, a Thalia ability, and then whenever they attack, you can sack a creature or a land and then draw a card. So kind of old Gitrog's ability. Like,
Yeah, similar.
land goes to the graveyard, draw a card.
Yep.
So this is similar. Yeah, like, if Forest is a playable thing, like, it seems good.
Mhm.
I think this has the, what's it called? The, oh gosh, Savage Knuckleblade problem. Big Nooks. That, like, on its face it reads strong, but, like, you have to have the cards around it.
Well, I mean, what's weird is that, like, it's two value plays and kind of a weird, like, taxi effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't really gel.
True. But, like, it is...
Like, if you look at Yargle and Multani, at least it gels.
that they're big.
Because it has no rules text.
It just all makes sense. It has both power and toughness. The peanut butter
Yeah.
and jelly of Magic cards, power and toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing needs to be red, so I don't have to go into 3 colors to fling it.
Yeah.
Right? Like your opponent like fetch shocks, and you're just like,
There's a black one, isn't there?
oh, it's red of
Rate of
consumption.
construction. Rate of consumption. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you've cast that before.
I have. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
one could reanimate a Yargle with Goryo's Vengeance, and then
Yes.
feed it to a fling. Or
Yes.
is it Thud? Is that the 1 mana red one?
Yeah, I think so.
And just thud someone. There you go. Oh, you fetch shocked? Oh, you're in a bad way now.
You're dead. You thought seized me.
I did.
You took the Yargle.
We'll bring this back, and then we'll go for it.
Yeah.
And then we have Drana and Linvala. It's 1 white black for a 3/4 flying vampire angel. Has flying and vigilance. It has Linvala's old ability from like the first Linvala. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated,
Yep.
which is like kind of a beating,
It is a beating.
especially
Especially nowadays when there's a paragraph in every card.
yeah. And then when Drana and Linvala has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though or mana of any color to activate these abilities. So you just get all of your opponent's activated abilities.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mana dork. It's a priest of forgotten gods. It's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, perfectly fine. No complaints. Seems good. Now, everyone has probably heard this, but this is the one that at least for a second perked my ears up.
Okay.
So we have Galta and Maverin. I forgot Marvin before. Maverin. God.
I knew who you were talking about. I'm sure everyone else did too.
Maverin the Martian, everyone. So 3 green, white for a 12/12 dinosaur vampire. That matters. Trample. Whenever you attack, choose 1. Create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur where creature with a token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures.
But not
Unfortunate.
itself.
I just wanted to make two 12/12s, but no.
Yep.
And then create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures.
So you either make a big or a wide.
Yes. You saw what the internet wanted to do with this, right?
I did not.
Sorin.
I completely missed that this was anything.
3 mana Sorin.
Oh, it just puts it into play.
Bonk. Your go.
Yeah, that's cute.
Probably not good,
Yeah.
but bonk. Here is a green white uncastable in my
In my mono black deck.
my mono black deck.
Yeah.
But again, I say bonk. Let's go. or you are playing Abzan and you're just like elf into Sorin into this turn 2 12/12. Your go, mono red. Your
And
go.
then turn 4, you cast what was the Solemn Visitor? Sorin Solemn Visitor. Give it +1/+0 and lifelink.
There you go. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, is that good? No, but like, are you going to lose a game of Arena to getting Dinosaured on turn 2 by Sword? 100% you are.
Yep.
Like, it's gonna have, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm just like living my life. Oh no, I can't beat this. It's like, do I have a removal spell? I do not. It's been a good run, ladies and gentlemen.
Get bonked.
Get bonked, fool. Yeah, seems fun. And then we have Omnath, Locus of All.
Yeah, how do you feel about poor Omnath?
Um, it has a paragraph of text that doesn't really do anything.
Well, I just meant look at him. Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean he's had a rough day at the office.
Yeah. Definitely had better days.
So he is Wooburg now.
Except the black is Phyrexian.
Yes,
Just the black.
and the black mana symbol seems to be slightly larger than the rest of the mana symbols. So a little
It
off-putting.
does. Is that how Phyrexian mana is, or is this just like a bad mock-up?
Um, I don't. I feel like it might be a bad mock-up,
Yeah,
but I
that's
could be
kind of what I
wrong.
was thinking.
But so I was all excited because it's like, sweet, a new mythic elemental.
Mhm.
My elementals deck needs some help. Sick. Let's go. And then I read it. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. So he has like the first Omnath, the Locus of Creation.
Yeah, he's just a mana battery.
Yes. Okay, cool. And then at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has three or more colored mana symbols
Yep.
in the mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana of any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it into your hand. So if you have a 3-color or more card, you can flip it over and go, I want mana of this color, of these
Yeah.
colors, and then put it in your hand and presumably use that mana to cast the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not 3 colors, you just draw it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not a bomb, but I think it's still like playable in the Elementals deck.
Maybe. I mean, it is an elemental, which, goes a long
That
way.
draws a card every turn.
I cheated on the elementals. I was playing Mom.
Uh,
Mom is good.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's the fact that, like, in Modern Magic, the fact that the card comes in and you have to wait an entire turn cycle.
Before it does anything, yeah, that's awkward.
Now, this was kind of our argument against Shieldred, and
True.
think of the number of times Shieldred has come down and you've not had an answer for it.
Yeah.
And then you've just lost to Shieldred. Right? Like, because effectively Omnath is a 4-mana play.
Right. 4 mana and 2 life, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, kind of in the same realm that Shieldred is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we've all had a Shieldred resolve, and then our opponent, like, hits us for 6 over the course of 3 turns. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think drawing an extra card each turn might be more effective.
Yeah, I mean, a 4/5 is also significantly larger than a 4/4.
It is. In terms of, like, what kills it,
Yeah.
it is kind of a huge difference.
Like, a 4/5 doesn't die to basically any damage space removal.
You are playing specific damage base removal just for it, and like Searing Spear or whatever, and they cost 3 mana
Yeah.
instead of 2, instead of 2. So
Yeah.
you
Whereas
are
a lot of stuff would tag a 4/4.
yes. So it is like not as good. I mean, and this runs into like it gets Rending Volleyed
Yeah, because it's
all
all
white
colors.
and blue,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Or it can get Aether Gusted or
Yep.
Noxious Grasped or whatever. So like those, like, really, if your opponent may bring those in because
The hosers.
yeah. So
They're basically like anything with protection.
yeah, so it does have some like weaknesses,
Yeah.
but the Dies to Doomblade doesn't work all the time, right? Because sometimes they don't have the Doomblade and you bury them, and this card does just bury your opponent.
Yeah. And the art's super sick.
It is. It is. We have Chandra, who brought her goggles.
Goggles are back.
Yeah, so what does this one do?
Hope's Beacon, 4 red red for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. Has a static ability. We're back to static abilities. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You choose new targets for the copy. This triggers only once a turn. It has a +2. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors. So it's not just red ramp, it's any color ramp. +1, another plus ability. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. Until the end of your turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spells from among the exiled cards. Or you can neg X to have it deal X damage to each of up to 2 targets.
So just like we were talking about a Shieldred, you have to cash in your Chandra.
Yeah.
In Omnath, you get to have your Chandra at 1.
Yep.
A big difference.
Big difference.
I mean, the Pyromancer's Goggle effect is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We saw that when goggles were in standard, like people built decks around goggles.
Yep.
And
I mean, goggles didn't cost 6 mana, but
they cost 4?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But like,
but this pays you right back for 2 of it.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of costs 4.
Yeah.
If you're playing something at sorcery speed. Right, like you could Chandra plus and then stomp something.
Mm-hmm. And get a double stomp.
Oh yeah, double stomp. Bam bam.
Stomp.
Yeah, kills an Omnath, not a Shieldred. So
back to that, huh?
Hey, just pointing it out. Yep. I brought up stomp. You pointed out it's a double stomp. Yep. It's like, oh wait, double stomp is 4.
That's right.
It seems, I don't know. It seems like one of those planeswalkers that's not going to have a home.
I mean, 6 mana is a lot.
It is.
It does a lot, but 6 mana is a lot.
So
digging 5 deep for action's pretty good. That's more than Chandra's ever done.
And it's a plus. Nice.
Yeah.
And you get those cards till the end of your next turn, so you can like play her plus.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yep. And then get like access to them. But right, this goes back to the planeswalkers. Remember, might have been like Core Set 20, where the planeswalkers were very much like, have a zombie deck for Lily, have a dragon deck for Sarkhan, and this is like, have a bunch of instants and sorceries. Deck. Yeah, have a burn deck, have a bunch of instants and sorceries. And like, planeswalkers that have those kind of restrictions are typically not as good.
Yeah.
So, I would not run out and pre-order these.
Nope.
Just Jin Gitaxias. No fancy name. So 3.
Yeah, this is the one that like turns into a saga.
Yeah, so it's 3. It's got so weird. 3 blue for Jin Gitaxias. It's a 5/5. Has Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card.
That's pretty good.
3 and a blue, exile Jin Gitaxias and return it to the battlefield, transform under its owner's control. Activate this only as a sorcery, and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand.
Sure. That's weird.
Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis. Sorry, the Great Synthesis is the saga that this flips into. Chapter 2, return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands.
That's pretty powerful.
Kind of an evacuate.
Yep.
And then 3 is you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield.
Face up.
Yeah. Front face up. Yep. Yeah, I was like, why do they have the little like thing? But I guess people would just try to like put it in on the wrong side.
Yeah. I mean, it seems powerful.
Yeah.
Like if you have 7 cards when you cast the thing, and then you draw a bunch of cards, so presumably you have a bunch of cards when you get to Omniscience. So
Mm-hmm. It is. I I don't know. Like, it feels like a commander card, but that has been a dangerous pejorative for the last few
yeah,
years.
I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, this was a commander card. I bet it's gonna break 3 formats. We should probably figure out how.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a real way to like cheat the flip. You know what I mean?
No. I don't think there's any way to cheat the flip.
Yeah, so like maybe something like a training grounds type effect would like lower the cost, but who
You
cares?
still need 7 cards in your hand, though. Like,
Yeah.
are you really going to have 7 cards in your hand on turn 5 after you cast this thing? Probably not. You're
No.
dead if you are.
Things went poorly for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know about Jin.
Yeah.
I mean, a 5-mana 5/5 Ward 2 is fine. Right? Like without the other
Yeah.
text on it, it's a common.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
And
like,
then
that is the text of, like, generic blue dragon that also has flying and, like, draws a card when it attacks.
yes, that is deemed not good enough.
Yeah.
What was it? Imarath? The blue like dragon that like hit them and like you drew up to 3 cards.
Yeah.
Right? That was a 6/6.
Mhm.
Right? And had like ward 3 or something. Like it was like impossible to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jin feels like the draw card if you cast a spell mana value 3 or greater. Like those aren't the spells you want to chain together to draw cards.
Right. You're
Right.
not gonna refill your hand that way.
Yeah, you're not gonna like.
You're gonna tread water that way.
Yeah, you're not gonna like. It's not like you're gonna like brainstorm, ponder, and fill your hand up. And like if you're
No.
playing a bunch of divinations, like you're in a bad way.
You could, like, behold the multiverse, though.
You could. That would get you
Like,
3.
foretell it, draw 3 cards.
I was thinking of the corrupted one that is like 2 and a blue, or it's only a blue,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
or mind over matter.
Yep.
But then it's like, I've got a human, and you're also corrupted, and
Yeah. Doing all this other stuff.
yeah, so
It's all non-creature spells also, though. So, like, maybe this could
Planeswalkers.
go... Yeah, and artifacts.
yeah. And
I
then
don't
we
know.
have the denizen of the Hall of Heliod's a douchebag. The douchebag himself.
Heliod the Radiant Dawn.
Yeah, what does this weirdo do other than be a douche?
2 white for a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. And then you can pay 3 and a Phyrexian blue to transform it. And it transforms into Heliod the Warped Eclipse. It's a 4/6. You can cast spells as though they had flash. And spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn.
So, the front side of this card is an uncommon, right?
A bad uncommon.
Yeah, like,
Like,
an
not even a good uncommon.
a like solid draft uncommon if
Yeah.
you were allowed to cast 4 drops in your format. Which the
And
way they've been
you
designing
have
formats.
enchantments.
Yeah, and you have enchantments that are in the graveyard,
Right.
right? And then the back is a suspect rare,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like a rare that doesn't do a whole lot.
Since when are gods not indestructible? Like, Theros gods are always indestructible.
True. I think that from what I heard, the story behind this is
Okay.
that they didn't corrupt Heliod directly. They corrupted his followers. And once his
which made
worshippers made
Yeah.
him corrupted in Phyrexian, And so by like basically, I think because his followers were bad, he lost indestructible. But I could be
Also,
wrong on
didn't
it.
Elspeth just kill him?
Yeah, like I feel like she'd show up from wherever she went with the Silex and just like settle a debt.
Well, I think didn't Elspeth just kill Heliod in Theros Beyond Death?
Did she?
I thought so. That's how she got the Shadow Spear, right?
I thought she had the Shadow Spear from the Underworld.
I don't know. I don't remember. I could have swore Elspeth just killed Heliod.
Did Elspeth kill Heliod? Autocomplete.
I guess I'm not up on my lore.
So, Elspeth nevertheless fought her way to Heliod, defeating the god as she ate away at his followers' belief. Defeated, Heliod was banished to Urbos' realm, and the god the dead granted Elspeth a boon. I guess of the dead granted Elspeth a boon in return for defeating his ancient foe.
Oh,
So,
okay.
defeated, but did not murk him.
Gotcha.
This is from Card Kingdom, so it must be a reputable source.
Yep, legitimate source.
Legitimate source. So there you go. We're now a lore podcast. You're welcome.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We do it all here.
That's right.
Comedy, lore, whatever you could want. Analysis. Do we want to talk about the blue card or the black card?
I don't know what blue card you're speaking of.
The flying one.
Okay, you're on a different page than I am.
Okay, Fairy Mastermind.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
So it is 1 in the blue for a 2/1 flash flyer. Whenever your opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. 3 in a blue, each player draws a card.
Seems potent.
It does. So this is Yuta Takahashi's World Championship card. He wanted Fairy Mastermind to be a 1/3. And they wouldn't let him because they said it was too good. Because he wanted to flash it in and eat Ragavans.
Oh.
He specifically said, I wanted to flash in and kill Ragavans because I wanted to be playable in Eternal formats, and he had to be able to kill a Ragavan. And they were like, no, that's too good. You didn't say that about the monkey, did you? No, you didn't say that's too good about the monkey. So, yeah.
I think it's pretty solid, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a good, like, tempo card, right? You open your mana, counter a spell, or play this guy if they don't do anything you need to counter. And in the late game, it's 4 mana, draw 2. Your opponent gets 1, but you get 2, so you're up.
Yeah, you can also cast it like in response to a brainstorm and like get some value off your
Oh yeah,
opponent's
just
brainstorm.
annihilate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, be like, hey, thank you for the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty solid. And for those of you who don't know, Yuta Takahashi is the world's foremost expert on the blue-black fairies archetype.
Yes.
When that is not a good deck, he's still playing it. So, like, for the last decade, he's still just been jamming blue-black fairies. And does very well with it. It's just, like, his pet deck, so that's why it's a fairy.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you were playing the same deck for a decade, you'd be pretty good at it.
You would think. You would hope.
Yeah.
But he wanted it to be eternal playable because he likes playing Legacy and Modern and Vintage. So he wanted something that, like, so that kind of has, like, part of a Notion Thief.
Yeah.
And it has, and it's a fairy, so it just kind of, and it pitches to force, which is one of the things he said was important to him.
Must pitch to force.
Must be blue.
Yeah.
All right. How about Breach the Multiverse? Sounds very fancy.
Five black for a sorcery. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. So it's 7 mana, unless you're playing Commander, it's 7 mana for reanimate 2 things.
Yeah, what was that?
You could also miss, though.
Yeah, what was that card from Shadows over Innistrad? It was like 5 black or 4 black return 2 things.
Oh yeah. Ever After?
Was it ever? I don't. Ever After. Is he right? Let's see. There's I think it is. That was a heck of a pull. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each of those is a zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put Ever After on the bottom of its owner's library. Yes.
Yeah. Except that this will only hit 2 things if your opponent has a target. You can't hit 2 things just from your graveyard.
Ever After was like not playable.
Not even close.
So I have my doubts that this will be playable.
Yeah. I mean, famous last words, it seems like a solid EDH card if you get 4 things, but...
Oh, yeah, it seems like a beating if you get 4 things.
But also, like, at 7 mana, can't you play Rise of the Dark Realms?
I think that's 9.
Is that 9?
I will look.
Seems like there's better things you can do for 7 mana. I think.
Yeah, Rise of the Dark Realms is 9. It's 7 black.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the difference between 7 and 9 is I don't know, not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's if your deck can get to 7, you're probably set up to get to 9.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find there's a Keldheim card that is, I thought, similar. Haunting Voyage. Mm-hmm. Choose a creature, 4 black, choose a creature type, return up to 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the spell was foretold, return all creature cards of that type. And it was foretold for 5 black. That card also wildly unplayable.
Mm-hmm. This is also kind of like a tracking nightmare, right?
What do you mean?
Because it makes each creature you control a Phyrexian.
Oh gosh, yeah. Then you play creatures afterwards. In your
aren't Phyrexian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like if something gets blinked, then it's no longer a Phyrexian.
Oh, like you have to have like little like counters or something to track what's a Phyrexian.
Yeah. It's an arena card.
It is.
Also strangely a commander card that's not supported on arena.
All right. And then the last card from the spoilers. Man,
Moment of truth.
This is the first time we've kind of done like all of the spoilers for a set.
Yeah, it is weird.
All right.
We don't ever do this. 1 and a blue for an instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 into your hand, 1 into your graveyard, and 1 on the bottom of your library. So it's kind of like a cross between Expressive Iteration and Anticipate?
I was going to say it's like Anticipate and Consider.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I think this is just better than Anticipate.
Yeah.
Right? Because filling your graveyard is always important. Like, and if you're... Right, imagine you're some sort of graveyard combo deck. I've never played one of those before. But imagine if you were to play a deck like that. You can keep a hand that doesn't have pieces because you're going to look for 3. And you can be like, oh, I can put my reanimation target in my graveyard, and I can put the reanimation spell into my hand.
Perfect.
Great. No problems.
Exactly what I wanted. Yep.
No problems. This just, I think, goes beside Atraxa in Standard.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get my Atraxa in the graveyard.
Perfect.
I need to find it. I need to find it and get it into the graveyard. Oh, this card does it all. Thank you. Like, strangely, this is the card that I think is most playable out of, other than, like, I think the Fairy Mastermind does, like, kind of meet the bar of, like, a tempo-y thing, but, like, Moment of Truth strikes me as, like, the most playable card out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Also, Fairy Mastermind with any cantrip, your opponent ponders, get him. Get a card.
Get him.
Amazing. I gotta hit my second land drop. Play my ponder. Ha! I'll draw a card. Thank you.
Fairy Mastermind. Thank you very much.
That was good. That was good. That's
Thanks.
good. I can't say anything. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, I'm interested in seeing the other smush of team ups.
Yeah.
I'm also interested in, like, maybe some standard legal ones that are at 3 mana.
Yeah.
Right? I think that would be...
Ooh, do you think we'll get like a Karizev and Ragavan?
Oh, man.
Like a mono red 3 mana Karizev and Ragavan?
It's got to be like red, red, red or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, like, is Gonti dead?
I don't know.
You could, like, carry Zeb and Gonti?
Maybe.
Or, oh gosh, what is his name? Naban? Is it Naban?
Mm-hmm.
Naban and carry Zeb, like the blue-red one?
Dovenban.
Who was the... There was a 4 mana, like 1/4 that if you had the artifact with the highest power or highest converted mana cost, you have to draw a card.
Padim?
Padim. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Padim and carry Zev.
Yep.
Is Pia still alive?
I think so, yeah.
Pia could get in there with Padim.
Mm-hmm.
Pia and Padim, science fair judges.
It'll probably be Rashmi.
Oh yeah, it'll make Toke. Oh, like your monkey attack. Like, well, here you go. You attack with Karizev. You make a monkey, a treasure, and then one of Ova Pashiri's tokens.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of everything.
You just make it all. It's fine.
Yep.
And then we have, like, the Aftermath cards, which are going to be, like, a smaller set after March of the Machines.
Yeah, this whole thing is weird, right?
What it strikes me as is we're sick of people complaining about Standard getting stale, and there's a lot of other games that partway through their set cycle will release a small set of cards to shake up Standard. Right? A lot of digital-only games. Okay. So, after, like, 6 weeks of Standard, we're going to put 50 new cards into the format to shake up Standard for the next 6 weeks. But the problem is, this stupid set is going to be the set that is on Arena forever, because we have Lord of the Rings coming in the summer. So it's going to be like last year where it was like Streets.
I thought they said that Lord of the Rings was going to be on Arena, though.
Oh, is it?
I thought they said it was. It was going to be like Baldur's Gate, where it's like the same set but different.
Oh, well. I did not participate in Baldur's Gate for that reason. We have starter kits, we have Jumpstart, we have pre-release packs, we have draft boosters, we have set boosters, we have collector boosters, we have the bundle, we have the gift bundle.
Yeah.
No, you're right. June 20th it comes to Arena. I
thought so.
Yeah. Well, I just ignored Baldur's Gate. like it did not exist for me. So that's why I didn't realize it was on Arena.
Yeah.
I blocked it out. It was too painful.
Well, I just meant like in general, they're doing like a lot of they've made a lot of strange decisions like for this product. And even though like Aftermath is kind of its own product, I still consider it a strange decision for this product.
Fair.
Like during what pre-release have you opened a promo card that you weren't allowed to play with?
Never. That was like literally anything in your box was fair game.
Yeah.
Oh, did you open a whatever Invention Crucible of Worlds? Congratulations, your sealed deck now has a Crucible of Worlds.
Yeah, it really strange. And then like we also have a bonus sheet for this set. I don't think we touched on that yet,
No,
right?
bonus sheet.
So there's a set of cards that are in their respective planes showcase set frame, I guess is what you'd call it. So like that's where we're getting Ragavan. Ragavan's going to be on the bonus sheet for this set in like the Kaladesh Masterpiece version.
And like Atraxa's getting done, right?
Yeah, like the Streets of New Capenna gilded whatever.
Gilded frame.
Well, I guess that means Atraxa's from New Capenna? Does that make sense?
No, so Atraxa I think is, maybe I'm wrong. I thought Atraxa was going to New Capenna. Thus they were putting her in the I could be wrong.
It says first up is Multiverse Legends, a non-standard legal bonus sheet like Mystical Archive or retro artifacts from the Brothers' War. It will contain reprints of iconic characters in their home planes' booster fun treatment.
So Atraxa was an angel from New Capenna?
Must be.
There we go. We have learned something new today.
Weird.
I mean, New Capenna is the angel plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you seeing those at? Because I have them up. Oh, wait, you have the link. Duh.
Yeah, I gave you links. I gave you links for everything.
You're very smart. I was like, I looked at these. I don't know like where they went.
Yep.
I
don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah, it is. That they're just doing all of this stuff with the set.
Yeah, and then like, there's a whole slew of commander decks. Like this is a 5-deck set.
Okay.
And each commander deck comes with 10 plane chase cards. 5 of them being new, 5 of them being old. And I guess they're random. So you get like a booster pack of plane chase cards, but like, I mean, that's not something they've ever done before. I don't know. It just seems like they're throwing an awful lot at the wall with this set. Doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Like, I can get behind, I understand the thought process about the, what's it called?
Aftermath.
The Aftermath.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just feel like they can't, they're like running this into this weird arms race, right? So, when we had the expeditions and like the lottery cards, right?
Yeah.
Right, you had to they had to keep doing those for a while because people were excited for the lottery cards.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of were like, "Oh, we can't think of any good ones to print anymore, or whatever. We're gonna stop."
Yeah.
All right. But so now it seems like they're just like, okay, for Throne, we're gonna do a treatment. And it seems like every subsequent set, they're like, we have to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
These people aren't buying enough. We have to find some way to make them buy more. What if we have a weird extra sheet that has cards from other sets in the set? Well, that might work. Well, what if we do... And it's at some point, it's like, hey, look. Like, crack dealers never have to be like, hey, man, I made my crack blue raspberry flavored, right? No, it's crack. It sells itself, right? maybe you started selling bad crack.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, people aren't buying our supply anymore. We have to like dress it up. And so we're gonna, put all this stuff on it. But it just seems like every set, it's like they have an arms race with themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's.
Well, I mean that's how you double profits year over year, right?
I guess, but like, I don't know. My last carton of eggs was cheaper, so that was nice. But like, I forgot to pack my lunch today, and it almost sent me into financial ruin. I went.
Have to pay $20 for a Happy Meal.
I went to McDonald's, and I ordered a 10-piece nugget with a large fry and a large drink and a double cheeseburger. It was $13.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Right. So
I remember when $5 was a lot for a value meal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. I remember when the double cheeseburger was 99 cents. It's now $3.29. Like, I still have old man brain, and I order it because I think it's cheap. And then I looked at the price today and was like, maybe I need to stop tacking on the delicious double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It is so much better than the regular cheeseburger, but it's also not worth $3.29 for the love of God.
Not even close.
Right. So, like, at some point, like, people have to run out of money, right?
Yeah. Or stop spending money.
Well, that's right. Like,
this guy.
They have to run out of money they're willing to spend on your product.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, but it's just weird. Like, they just can't leave stuff alone because they have to get more profits this year. So we have to have an extra treatment and an extra secret layer and an extra whatever.
Right.
And then another day that we miss the landfill.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop putting the landfill on here because it's kind of old news now.
Yeah, it is. It's old news. Someone needs to go to a Texas dump and take new pictures of cards in the landfill to move the needle to get this back on.
You know what? I am gonna throw part of this in though.
Okay.
Because it's now been 2 weeks and we haven't talked about it at all. So real quick before we end the show.
Okay.
Receivables is back.
It is. It is. They took the bold stance of they're starting at the beginning of Magic and working forward.
Yeah.
As opposed to random times in history.
They're also doing it as a YouTube channel instead of as a podcast.
Yes. So I think Cedric went to some pains to like get a nice backdrop for them. And then I think Peace Ellie showed up.
As per usual.
In a Clippers tank top for the first one.
Classic Peace Ellie.
Yeah. No, it was very enjoyable.
Yep. It was a good episode. If you guys haven't, not that we're doing a sponsored spot for Receivables or anything, but Cedric and Peace Ellie are probably the epitome of Magic content.
Yeah, like
they're everything I love about the game.
If you're a middle-aged man, they are like right in your wheelhouse. It's like perfect. Yeah, like they would easily, any Pro Tour coverage that you watched, they would easily be the best commentary team that would be on coverage.
For sure.
Right? Like whoever I'm again, sorry Corey, sorry Aloy, or not Aloy, whatever her name is. Alias V. Like Alias, you can go work the news desk. Corey, you can stay home and just like give them give them the second spot.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like
give them the first spot.
I kind of like having Marshall around, but
I mean I like Marshall too, but I don't.
Not more than Cedric and Peace Ellie?
I don't think I do. Yeah.
So
like, even if it was like Marshall and LSV, I think I'd rather listen to Cedric and Peace Ellie.
High praise. So, like, they are they definitely have a unique take because they were playing super competitively
Yeah.
at this time. And we never got as competitive as Cedric and P. Silly were like in their primes.
Right. Not even close, but
Like so, kind of like in the cons era to the end times, right? Like
yeah.
we have a pretty good sense of what was going on and the decks and stuff. They had that for like a much longer time.
Like a
And
decade longer.
yeah, and they have it as both players and then moving into commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So
And they're also like good friends. So it's kind of like listening to us talk about Magic, but
yeah,
it's Cedric and P. Sully.
yeah. So yeah, not you can watch two YouTube podcasts. You can watch us, and then you can like watch them.
Yep.
Yeah, you can drift to sleep to the dulcet tones of P. Silly.
I think that's the first and last time anybody will give him that compliment.
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, like I approve that message. It is very enjoyable.
Yep.
So, with that, I think we have a show.
We have a show.
If you want to get at us on social media and tell us that we should stop pimping other podcasts and YouTube video offerings, feel free to get at us. All those links, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, are all in the description below. If you're in the Discord, that's where I find out about a bunch of cards sometimes.
Yeah. I wouldn't have shilled them if I didn't think that they were worth it. So
This is true.
yeah,
This is
high quality content.
a
Check 'em out.
non-sponsored sponsored bit.
That's right. If you're looking to support us, you can do so in a few different ways. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. Follow that link on over, do whatever shopping you're going to do, and you will support the show just by doing that. Doesn't cost you anything else, and it helps us out. So make sure you use that link. The second way to support us is with our Patreon, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. You can chip a couple bucks in, you get access to our pre-show, so you get more of us every week. You get access to our show notes, so you have a sneak peek about what we're going to talk about and stuff that we've been skipping for 2 weeks if you wanted to read about it. And the third thing you get is you get put on my mailing list for when I have cool stuff, and cool stuff is coming soon. So if you want in, make sure I get your mailing address and sign up for Patreon. Chip a couple bucks in. There's a third way you can support us.
Ooh.
Do you know what that is?
I don't. Maybe I should.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, you can. Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe. Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, you get to see our smiling faces in addition to listening to our, what you call, P. Sully, dulcet tone.
Dulcet tones, yes.
Yeah. So in addition to listening to our dulcet tones, you could look at our smiling faces as we speak at you. Also, Brian does limited content a couple times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you get Tomfoolery Tuesdays is coming back. Took a little break while I had some issues, but we'll be back. And basically every weekday, we got something for you on Casual Tryhard MTG and YouTube.
Yes.
So make sure you subscribe over there.
And if you're not liking Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One, Shadows of Our Innistrad Remastered is coming soon to save us.
Coming soon to save us, yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll catch you on the internets.
We'll catch you on the internets.